match is this guy Duck. Duck is somebody that I've been watching probably since Valorant came out. I think he's a very strong aimer. I think mechanically, technically, he's very gifted, and he's going to be my player to watch now as we move forward in this match.
Right, we'll keep our eyes on that. Rami is going to be really probably first up the bat here. There's a pretty aggressive swing coming out from some of the members of the defending squad here. We're going to see them try and take some early control, but instead their opponents will swing onto him. Mind you, again, those are not actually Phantoms. Still the pistol round after all. Defenders with a pretty good hold. Rami and Duck all picking up kills. They completely shut down the garage push, but meanwhile, the long push has a massive amount of success. Nobody really left to watch that, and they're just going to walk in, wall off the garage push, and have themselves a pretty free plan after finding those 2 picks.
Yeah, that was very interesting. A C long essentially was left entirely open, even though there was an execute happening towards, the garage doors. There still should have been somebody kind of paying attention there. Instead, they get shot in the side, caught off guard there, and now we're in this post-plant situation, which is actually winnable for the attackers.
Very, very winnable indeed, especially with the amount of control they've managed to gather for each other here. As the actual retake starts, the majority of the players here from Spot Up are going to be holding on the inside of the garage. Try to wall off long, but the pressure is going to be coming from garage instead. Bunny completes the full wrap. You've already got Swade on the fuse, be forced to jump off. It does get the 1 pick. Not going to happen as we see Bunny pick up the final frag against Wheaties and confirm the first round for his team. They are going to see Spot Up take the lead off of that.
Yeah, what a great post plan. I love the push towards that garage area. You saw them double up, go through that stage ice wall, make the play into garage. They get up into that window area and then reflank around. That's exactly what they needed to do as the fight was divided. It was a great overall post plan situation for the attackers.
So off of that one, we've got the pretty much expected save round coming in here for the defenders. Over on full focus. Not much of an investment going to be coming in from them besides this little shorty buy from Tem, and I think maybe like 1 to 2 other players buying something similar. So just about $200 to $300 spent at most for these guys. And Tem hoping to catch something here at long, but as you guys can tell from our mini map, probably not much going to line up there. The rest of the team, the attacking side here for Spot Up, going to push themselves into mid. Someone into long will spot Rami hiding out here inside of the garage window. Not going to be able to connect a whole lot of damage, though, and even if they did it with a Sage, so she would have been able to heal that right back up.
Yeah, it does look like we're going to actually see long being pressured now. As Tem, look at that position here, Blue, with that shotgun in tow. Cypher now rotating him, and it's going to be a little bit of bait and switch now, because if they do attack C long, you're going to see that Cypher get spotted, and that shotgun is just going to blow them away. Here it comes. Oh! Ooh. No.
A big miss for Tem, unfortunately, as he's not able to line up the shots as he needs to. We'll see the rest of the team push back in. It actually does a great job of isolating out some of the defenders in the site. See Wheaties get run over pretty quickly there. It's all going to be down to Duck. The 1vx now, obviously just a classic, not really much hope of success here. So we'll be lining up outside of garage and I believe trying to pick up exits if they're going to present themselves to them, but definitely not going to go for the retake.
Yeah, definitely no reason to even go for it, give the guys extra credits. If you can wait for it and maybe pick up 1 kill, pick up a weapon, yeah, go for it. No reason to give any more economy towards them. It doesn't really do anything. You're still going to get the same amount of cash next round. But wow, that shotgun. I really thought there was going to be a kill there.
I think he got really unlucky. Like, I almost want to say aim punch messed him up there at the last second when he tried to shoot it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it happened like, really quick, so I didn't get the best eyes on it, but it definitely seemed like something went wrong with his aim right before he shot. That's why I missed.
Oh my goodness.
And a good lineup here, certainly trying to do some damage, and also very, very much trying to keep himself alive here, despite having literally 0 invested into this one right now. This is maybe utility stuff.
All right, let's look at how they're going to approach this round now. As we do see the first guns being bought up, full abilities on the field. No operator, though. And we are going to see what we would call in Counter-Strike a throwaway round, right? It's when you just keep those SMGs, it's your burner round, you say, hey, we're just going to probably take something quick. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, whatever, we'll buy next round. So the attackers are actually going to go for the gamble, and you know what? I think this might pay off because of the lack of operators. They're actually going to be able to get in very close and fight those vandals, those phantoms.
Initial smokes are thrown down deep onto long C in order to allow them to push for this, but they are held back after initially stacking up here. Tem is also going to be able to find Bunny down C long. Smoke probably just faded when he went for the peek onto it. And that's what will end up giving him away and allowing for that first kill to go to our defending spot.
Yeah, now 5v4 will ensue in favor of the defenders here, as we do see the enemy team moving up towards garage. Not really much else happening, actually. They're going to be pulling off and going towards A. And that's actually not a bad call here, Blue. We're only seeing Rays now as the rotations are over heavy towards C and B.
Spot up, definitely taking their time to decide where exactly they want to execute upon, and that's very much falls in line with the overall strategy for this round. They have to be very careful as they're not working with the best buy they could possibly have. Paint Shells go right up into heaven to try to deal with the player up here, but Wheaties not only survives it, but thrives upon it. Is able to pick up one for himself. Duck will swing out from hell to find one.
Wow.
Tem and Wheaties will just find the last few with flawless hold and an absolutely terrible push there, unfortunately, from their opponents on the attacking side. They get nothing done with that, but ultimately was the bonus round, so we'll have plenty of money to immediately rebuy in.
This is a nice spot.
Should like to do that.
What I thought was going to happen, and what they actually could have done, if you had Tucker there in that situation in TCAP, you could have essentially gone ahead and thrown the Sage Orb up into that window from a distance, right? Now you float it, you drop the nade from Rays up into that window as well and create almost like a molly buffer while you're running up, because nobody can now peek into that, right? Or you might get a kill. So I thought they were going for that, and unfortunately Rays missed the nade and it just landed short of that window, and I think that would have been the difference maker.
All right, so we've got Tucker also leading the charge here towards A long, but much like the previous round, not anywhere near confirmed to be going here, just yet, leaving the options open. Eldron's gonna end up getting caught by one of the trap wires. They'll get rid of it. Wheaties will shoot it out very quickly, prevent it from getting additional info. And the rest of the team now still kind of taking their time. Got a big stack towards mid, so it's a possibility of a B or a garage C push here now. Again, as I said previously, the options are very much still kind of open at this point for our friends over on Spot Up to choose their attacking play.
Look at Brimstone now. He's made his way down to C Cubby right here, and he's just right in front of that orb, hanging out. Is he going to get a bait, though? That's the big thing here, Blue. Someone needs to rotate over and give him a little bit of help, or he's going to get cleared. So let's see what happens.
And up the back here, finds Funny, gonna look for two, but as you said, pretty easy to trade that out for contact that's made. Tucker can find that one. Tempted to get to the site, but he's gonna not be able to contribute at all. Just wiped off the board quickly by Tucker. That will be a plant coming in for Spot Up, and possibly just the confirmation on the round as they're finding more and more kills left and right here. The defenders over on full focus, down to only 2 left alive now. Don't really have much of a chance to go in for the retake, so we're just going to see Spot Up get incredibly aggressive with their post-plant positions to doubly ensure there's going to be no hope for a retake, and hopefully they themselves can take out the players saving, as you've got Duck along with Rami sitting just outside of attacker spawn.
Yeah, I definitely think there was a good opportunity there. The bait just didn't come in, and at the end of the day, that's what you need, right? You need that little help, because by the time they started actually fighting with Brimstone in that C cubby, there was about 25 seconds left on the clock. So imagine if somebody had peeked from the top of C in that point and made that initial contact, that probably would have drained 5 seconds there, and now you're seeing the 20-second marker. That's when players, stop clearing corners, is when they're in a rush because they have to be forced to get into something. So if there was just that little bit of a bait, that split second, I think it could have made all the difference.
It's going to bring us down into a 1-3 scoreline. Spot Up still controlling the situation for this first opening half on Haven, bringing a lot of gunpowder into the fray here now for the next round. Our defenders in the meantime here are on full focus. We're going to see them stick to the same overall strategy. No one on B, 2 stacked on C, 2 on the A to defend from here. An aggressive swing out from Duck, too. Tries to hold back any of the potential A pushes early on here by running his paint shell out early. Needs a double kill to get that available again if he wants to use it in the late round.
Does look like Garage will be taking out. Oh, his spam coming out. A little bit of damage off the Sage, but she is going to heal right up. Does look like Garage, though, will favor the attackers now. Recon drone to get a little bit of info, and we'll push Bunny out back and towards middle for a little bit. It does look like, once again, the defenders favoring C, but look at Cypher now. Wheaties, can he do it? Trigger discipline, Oh.
My ultimate is not ready.
Only able to line up with a 1 frag against Tucker, but that's a pretty important player to take out. Tucker has been the initiation for a large part of this team. Bunny also with a nice find against Tem on the inside of Garage there, trying to sneak that further onto the C
You will
site. And in
not
fact, the team
kill
was
my
rotating
allies.
upon it. They're even going to use the res to bring Tucker back up now. Figment was in position with the spike in hand to go for a garage push and join his teammate out on C. But with his trade recently happening, they have some second thoughts on that. Nonetheless, though, 25 seconds remain. A decision needs to be made soon, so they're going to go for the long push.
I think Austin might have his ultimate as well, so he's going to delay this plant, I think, as soon as it goes down here. Let's see what happens.
Let's see the showstopper. Unfortunately, not be much use on the execute due to the off-site play here. Like you said, the ult in check, but not able to be utilized here.
He was one short. Yeah, he needs one more orb to get it. But that would have been the play there, because I think I thought he did have it, but with 20 seconds on the clock, if he used that, the rotations would have been able to come in. I think Raze would have been able to get involved there with grenades as well, and I think that could have gone the way of the defenders. But because there was no real delay that they had for that site take, it was free for the attackers.
Yeah, information comes in a little bit too late that it is actually on C for full focus as well. So they're not even going to make an attempt at the retake here. The 3 remaining players are just going to sit back over towards their spawn and at A. They've got 3 very capable guns, along with full armor for the most part behind that, and quite a bit of leftover utility, at least 500 to 600 credits worth of it here on Rami, and I would imagine there's a bit more on the other players too. Better to save that for another fight than try to waste it on a 3v5 retake. So 4-1 will now be the scoreline. Spot Up still controlling things here on the attacking side.
And as this round begins, looking at it, all right, as with Wheaties on the defending side, you don't necessarily see, the ultimate get used as much, right? Cypher really has to get super aggressive, right, if he wants to burn his ultimate on the defending side. But I would like to see him maybe push up towards that short and maybe go for an early entry just to get an idea about what the opposing team is doing. And in fact, that's what they're going to be doing. Yeah, it looks like they will be heading Cypher up.
Wheaties, regardless, though, it looks like he may try to challenge and possibly have the support of Duck, too, if they try to swing into there. But TCAP, as you're mentioning, has a hard lock on this angle. It's not a consistent one, though. As you can see, he's trying to check for pushes from mid-window, too. Make sure that no one takes control here, as our defending squad has continued to try and get more and more aggressive here for full focus. The hold is entirely on the inside of short right here. It seems for now to have worked. It also lines up some great mid-round push potential if they want to try to get a little bit more aggro on this. Now that you've got most of the attacking squad here lined up inside of mid, getting ready to try and make a push from there, but also not necessarily keeping too much of an eye on their flanks right now. That's Spot Up, of course, trying to do that.
Yeah, it does look like there's a little bit of a lull in the round here, as we are seeing the attackers starting to move towards the B area. Sage is watching, but that wall is going to cut her right off. The ice orb to the left now. The plant is going to go down uncontested. This is going to be an easy round in here. Let's see how we react to the post plant now, as we see Brimstone and Raze pinching around from CNA.
Hold is going to be almost entirely out here in mid. Yeah, as you mentioned, the cutoff is met. There's those 2 players from Short A try to commit themselves out. And that kills most of the retake potential. The Sage Rami still trying to find a path back in, but it's just not really going to work at the end of the day. The other 2 players don't even really want anything to do with it, so it's looking like another round Spot Up will win with multiple players on the other side for full focus having to call for a save.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's an unnecessary death there, in my opinion, but at the end of the day, that was a great take. I love the just complete silence. You saw that silence in the round, Blue. And what that does is just creates a little bit of tension. A little bit of tension in the round that makes the opponents start thinking, okay, what could they be up to? What could they be up to? And sometimes you get the player that just swings around for 1 second. Just looks the other way, hesitates, maybe thinks he's, you're going to be hitting the other site, and that's when you catch him, and that's exactly what happened. You saw them just lift off of B for a split second, and that was enough for Sage to put up the wall, ice orb the left, free spike plant.
Austin and Tem even getting taken out by the spike explosion there at the end of the round too, so additional economy damage is done to them towards the end of it. That's a pretty massive loss when you consider how far behind they already are, and they were trying to save in the first place, so Very unfortunate that we don't see those players able to make it out alive. There was some pressure from C Long, and that might have been what kept them trapped on the inside of the explosion radius during that. Either way, aggression is very much leaning towards A. Great pressure early on put onto Duck will take him out of the picture. Bunny and the rest of the team already primed to run out from short A. There is some delay on the long push, though, and short has also been held back via a molly. Actually, looks like this was used by Bunny himself, so never mind on that. Now, however, short is going to get iced out. No easy way them to continue their push into here. Cypher's had to go back and watch for flanks as well to make sure no one on the side of full focus tried to press it against them.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're seeing just once again that lull in the round. And now let's see if anybody rotates off. Does Sage second guess what's happening here and rotate out of the heaven, maybe down into the site? Is Cypher going to start pushing up short and get caught out? In fact, we're going to see a little bit of contact. Cypher picking up the kill. The neural threat. Seth, does it get off? Do they get it?
I heard the noise, so I'm pretty sure they managed to get that one. Bunny's going to be able to find a kill on Rami, possibly off that, and Tem as well. Nice shot with the Hunter's Fury. Takes out Figment on the other side. He's going to be able to even line up another shot into a player who gets the plant off this time. Unfortunately, they did not have another Hunter's Fury shot, so they couldn't confirm it.
No.
Now, Bunny holds this aggressive position just outside of the defender spawn tunnel. Gets the early peek onto the op as well as it moves in. That'll give him free vision and then confirms the final one. It's an ace from Bunny on the round to get his team up to 6.
Great round indeed. I mean, that last kill, I'm not sure why the guy wasn't checking the left side, but still, nonetheless, that's what you do. You take advantage of mistakes that the opponents make to make spectacular plays, and that's what we saw right there. I was very interested in the way they took that actual site, though. It felt like if you watched the initial start of the round after they got that first pick, you saw how they slowed it down, and I almost felt like we were going to see, if they didn't attack the site when we saw I believe it was, I forget, Wheaties actually pushed down?
Yeah.
I think Wheaties was going to inevitably just force it. It just coincidentally happened to be while they were executing, you know what I mean?
So things will continue to go well here now in the 8th round. Has the eco in once again for the players on full focus, so not expecting much to come from them on this one, given the past results of other eco rounds. They've already caught on to the push out from A long or A short, so they're going to be very well aware of that. And they're even just going out from C to start the clear. They know there's more than likely going to be a save call for Tem and Austin, so they are just going to sit back here. There's a sheriff ping. They're trying to see if they can get anything out of this from their save, but it's not looking likely that they could even get back to that gun at this point.
No, the snowball effect is really taking hold here as we're seeing a 7-1 scoreline really come to fruition momentarily. And what I will say on that note is that if we don't see the defenders start coming alive, I mean, we might be in for a very quick BO3 here, Blue.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a possibility, but at the same time, full focus. We've already seen from their previous matches, they've had no trouble with dispatching of some of the greater reputational teams in this bracket today. For some reason, at the moment, seem to be struggling in a very, very big manner against Spot Up, at least so far on our opening map on Haven.
Do you think maybe it's kind of like one of those things where they're a newer team, maybe just playing together is something that, you know, they haven't seen everything together, so at the end of the day, things are happening to them that they're seeing for the first time, and now they're, you know, having to work through it mid-match versus practice, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, especially when you consider the fact that the other matches, for the most part, have gone pretty well for them. So there may not have been a period where they had to do this kind of adjustment, and this may be the first time that they're really running into that wall, and that could explain why it's as one-sided as it is currently. Also, could just honestly not be a good map for them, because everything before this was best of 1, so they may have actually not had. I didn't check the previous maps, but they may have not had to play Haven yet.
What is your favorite map in this game?
To play? Actually, I really like a set. Well, we'll get back to that in a moment here. Yeah. Duck and Austin as well, trying to line that one up. Missed the first spray, but manages to get it going on the second. Finds Figment through the wall into the heaven window, or into the mid window, excuse me. And off of that, a very nice find to keep our defenders in control, to keep full focus in a position where they may finally be able to claim a second round.
Yeah, that was quite the frag show. Coincidentally, it was the moment we tried to just have a little bit of a filler conversation. They were like, no, we're going to frag out in that moment. It was beautiful. Great wall bang from Austin onto that window to pick up the kill. We're going to drop into a 4v2 situation now, but we only have Cypher on the site here. So this is where the issue comes, Blue. If Raze can get into this site here, uncontested. Get this plant down. What happens from here?
Going to see the camera, of course, give away a lot of info for free. He'll get the track out onto one of them, but the wall will deny Wheaties before he can find that true lineup. Orbital Strike is going to have to deny the plant instead. Tucker with the blast pack should send them back a little. Oh, it actually gets the kill on the duck that time. Austin will take out Tucker, though, before any further damage can be done. Now everything falls to TCAP. They'll once again get revealed by the camera, and Wheaties will finish off the round, as we do indeed finally see a second one onto the board for full focus.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a rough round there for them. I mean, the attackers not too much time on the clock, being forced in. Great orbital strike coming out from Austin onto the site there to just delay even further, allowing the rotations to come in. Tucker, blast pack, a little bit of cheekiness, gets himself a kill, but just time is winding out against them there, Blue. There's not really much they can do, especially after Tucker goes down. The final player's got an operator.
Tear them down.
You're going to be hard-pressed to find success there.
So far what's been a rare loss for Spot Up. We'll see if they're going to be able to immediately patch the issues that came up in that round, or if possibly their opponents here, Full Focus, have found something to work with. Let's find out which is going to be the case. Duck once again has the aggressive position just on the top of the mid box here inside of the B site. Great opportunity to find an opening frag, but barely misses it. Now they know the op presence is here. So it's looking like the pressure for Spot Up is going to shift almost entirely to A now, as all 5 players stack up in the lobby.
Yeah, once again, Cypher on the solo site, but this time we have, like you said, 5 players moving in towards the Blue, and this is where it's going to get hard. If all 5 are able to get into the site uncontested, well, how are you going to be able to retake that?
That is indeed going to be the big question, and it seems as though Full Focus will have a response to it. They try to bring in their raise, but she'll get smoked out before she can find an impact. Funny as well is going to confirm one on the Wheaties. Nice shot from Duck, though, through the smoke. Finds out Tucker, and Wheaties will be brought back up. The defenders still have a great chance here on Full Focus to work their way back into the site. On another round for themselves. Duck is waiting for one to repeat from long, but that's not going to be happening anytime soon. We'll need to try and get a little bit more aggressive than that. The rest of the team needs to do the same thing, but they're relying a little bit on the Heaven player to try and find an entry for them. It's not happening at this point. Bunny's spraying in. The attackers finding kills left and right. Duck, along with the Brimstone here on the defenders' team from Full Focus, trying their best to work back into it. They'll start to tag onto the spike. Won't be enough. Now we've got the Hunter's Fury working its way out. He won't be able to predict the first kill. Now, the only question remaining was there enough time for the defuse? It looks like it's going to be very close, but they will indeed get it. Third round up on the board now for Full Focus.
Under a second there. Just got a 0.9 left on it there. Jeez. I mean, I did enjoy the start of that post plant. I felt like the Crossfire needed the extra guy, but somebody left to watch flank. I believe that was the Sova with the Hunter's Fury. But he could have stayed a little bit closer just to contact anybody jumping out of Heaven, be that support system there. Nonetheless, we will see the third round get picked up. We are seeing Ducks starting to come alive now, as well as Wheaties and Austin, so this is getting exciting.
Finally, Full Focus getting to wake themselves up a little bit from what has been a very unfortunate run of events in the first 8 rounds of the match. However, already started to make things a little bit more palatable for themselves, but they have to try and bring it back to as close of a scoreline as possible here. Otherwise, things could still be very bad for them upon switching sides. Rami, if we take a look at him, he'll be one of the players that more than likely has to strike pretty quickly here, as we'll have a B push coming in from Spot Up, and pretty much a free spike flank coming out of this too, because of the fact the players on Full Focus play without anyone committed to the B side, or at least are kind of changing that up every once in a while. There's quite a few rounds where B is left open for the taking, and this was one of them. Rami, the player that's normally on it, now off-site, having to work with the 2 other C players to start retaking.
It does look like we will see a full 5-man retake. Nobody flanking, everybody through the center. Wall goes up. Bomb will be tapped now. Oh, the Ruba doesn't get over though. That's going to be a little bit of an issue. I don't think we'll be able to see the defuse actually go down now. Spike's going to be ticking away. Molotov on top of it as well. We're going to see the defuse attempted once more. Ara takes down 10. Spike's taken away, and Tucker! What a play.
Tucker with that last minute push there just to make sure no one was sneaking it off the angle. And TCAP looks like he's going to be lost at the end of that one due to the small amount of the spike implosion that ended up going off there. So he will end up having to rebuy for himself. Everybody else stays alive, though, on the team. So a very clean round for them, which is something that they needed after that 2-round run from their opponents. They're now going to buy out completely. And as you can see, while it's still a pretty healthy buy, already some signs of weaknesses. A lot of them had to buy half armor. And in the case of Austin, he had to go all the way down to a bulldog.
Yeah, and that's definitely not what you want to be bringing in as we move towards the last round of the half. You want to be a little bit more confident on your front, but there's some confidence for you right there. Duck taking down TCAP to start the round. A 5v4 situation now in front of us, as we are going to see the side of the attackers just continuously moving forward.
Aldrin going to move in, might be able to deal with one of the trap fires very quickly, but looks like it gets dealt with before it can find anything there. Weedies just goes for a little bit of spam to see if he gets lucky, and Sova does take quite a few hits, so he'll actually be brought down pretty low, more than likely by that same spray. And the rest of the team, although they did back away initially from the A-long approach, seems as though that was only to give false sense of security. The defenders here on full focus. In just a moment here, we are going to see Spot Up recommit. That Boombot probably going to be pretty clutch, as now it reveals the fact that they are indeed still having presence on short. Not only that, but the C players have pushed out. Figment finds really the first bright light for this team on this round, as everybody else that's still alive has already taken a lot of damage and so far doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. They try to sneak the plant off in the corner. Not going to happen, though. Bunny has to save the day yet again as he finds Wheaties. We'll see the move forward here now. Try to commit the plant. Tommy, though, could just jump right out of heaven. He'll deal with Bunny, and now everything falls to one player. Just their Cypher playing from hell. That won't pan out. Austin deals with RF pretty quickly. And a 4th round will go up on the board to end the half for full focus.
Yeah, definitely not a bad end to the half here. You can't be too sad about that. I believe at one point it was 6-1, if I'm not mistaken. 7. So 7-1? Okay, well, there you go, right? So we are seeing a little bit of life.
Hey, our scoreboard.
Hey, we got a scoreboard still.
Nice. All right, cool. So we kept it for once. Maybe they hotfixed it real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe a hotfix. Maybe a hotfix.
Thank you, Riot.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
hotfix. Either way, thank you, Riot, for letting it work this time. All right, so let's.
I'm excited. Our observer's excited.
Yeah. So let's get into this next round here now. Pistol, of course, for the second half. Very, very important one for full focus, given the still very large gap in rounds between the two teams. We see Spot Up take this one, and they're able to convert the second. This could be another quick runaway for them to try and run right up to 13 with relative haste. But if their opponents get it, obviously we're going to be looking at a much, much closer game. Fast play on to the B site. We'll try to take control of it. Money is going to be immediately pressured and dealt with.
Ooh, and look at this, going over towards A now. Through actually the A entrance into the site, completely uncontested. Cypher's now stuck in heaven. Sova's rotating through spawns. They don't know what is happening right now as the spike has now been planted. Rotations now need to be careful. Why? Because they don't know where any of these players could have stopped and waited.
Patrao barely surviving the encounter at mid to all the way down at 1 HP. Quite a few players here. Rami, most notably, need to hold on. Wall will come out here from Spot Up as they try to swing back in, but it's all attacker kills all day here coming in for full focus. Figment is now the last man standing. Remain that way for very long. Duck gets the last kill, and just like that, we've got full focus back on the board, and more importantly, back in the game.
Yeah, what a round, and that's exactly what they needed. Pistol round is something that gets you off on the right foot. When you're able to secure pistol round, it gives everybody the motivation to keep going hard. In a situation like this, if you lose that pistol round, it puts you in a very, very big predicament where you're only going to get maybe 1 gun round out of it. So right now, we've seen a little bit of breathing room for the attackers. Let's see if they can continue on this front. Or sorry, for the defenders. Let's see if they can continue on this front. Sorry, the color code messed me up there.
Alright, we've got a pretty quick path being made here now by Spot Up as they're by the folks on full focus, as they're gonna swing themselves directly into A. No one here defending it because Spot Up trying to go for their own aggressive push into the back of the A push. Unfortunately, they're not able to find much from it because Wheaties is here waiting for him. A quick triple kill from him, all headshots as well. He shuts down what should have been the backstab. And the folks on Spot Up will unfortunately not be happening this time. Just down to Aura and the stage here for Spot Up to try their best at something, but not much to be accomplished. A full save like this in a 2v5.
A little bit of damage onto Duck though. Thought he was gonna be able to connect on the kill. Sage might pick something up here. Duck is hunting. There you go. Easy kill right there in front of him. Maybe a gun. but probably not.
Yeah, not gonna happen here. Just a 4th frag on the round for Weenies. Gets himself definitely some good ones out of the anti-eco there, and all of from pistol too. So despite the fact that it was an anti-eco, still getting it done with relatively even gunpowder compared to his opponents. So props to him for that one. He leads the charge for his team right now at 13 and 11 on the scoreboard. Funny, it's very close to that at 13 and 9.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the way it's going to be played out this round, we almost have a burner round coming out in front of us from the side of, from the side of the attackers right now. Look at what they're using here. With Stinger, the Spectre, 2 Ghosts, 1 Phantom. I can imagine they're going to be going fairly quickly. If there is one thing I will say though, Riot does need to fix the color coding when Team Switch has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That is like the one thing that throws me off sometimes.
Hopefully we'll get them to work on that pretty quickly. As you were saying, though, it's going to be a very fast hit this time. Rami and the rest of the members here from Full Focus trying to quickly swing into the site. Figment is there, but only for 1 kill. It's now on TCAP as he's holding backside control. Finds the trade onto Wheaties. He's going to look for more with a potential swing. His cutoff has been made at Garage, but he's got additional assistance coming in at the spawn route. He'll be able to find that frag onto Rami. Plant's gone down onto the ground, but only 2 attackers remain, and now none, as TCAP gets the last 2 kills in quick succession. Line up a 4K on the round for him.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice retake. You see the patience coming out from the defending side there, allowing everybody to get involved. And as soon as everybody's there and everybody's ready to get involved, then they start pressuring. There's no one-on-ones, there's no isolated fights really that take place until everybody's ready. Then the one-on-ones can happen because you're ready to trade with somebody. So, 9th round on the board now for the defenders here. Can they keep moving forward, or are we going to see that burner round, which is now turned into a full buy, actually show some profit for the attacking side?
Let's take a look here and see what exactly we're looking at for this next upcoming round. Much more open book strategy this time. Seems like it's going to be deployed by Full Focus. Not really committing themselves to any particular site directly out of the spawn gates, so still leaving the options open. And you'll also note that the spike is currently down mid-map. Usually that means team's going to play for picks. I think that's definitely what we're looking at for the opening situation here on Full Focus's side. They'll quickly take care of those garage doors. Rami and probably 1 or 2 others might have gotten spotted at mid, so players over on spot up probably have a good idea as to where the stack currently is, but as was mentioned before, it's not anywhere near enough to start rotating people off of sites for it. This could be very bad potentially here for Duck if he's not careful, especially with his back turned.
Oh.
Right here.
He still gets the kill. Traded out though, of course.
Cage triggered.
Thankfully, they're playing the 2-man strat there along. That does leave things weak on the overall site, though, as they're going to push in. R is left alone. Gets the cage out, but his position is known. He's brought down low. Finished off by Austin. A 1-tap, though, from Tucker. Takes out at least 1 player, but he's also going to fall from Wheaties.
Cage triggered.
The rest of the team is now going to consider whether it's better to push back in or swing over to A. It seems A is the better option. The 2 other remaining players on spot up, also working their way out from long to try and retake this.
Yeah, the good thing is we do have Cypher now in this post-prime situation. I wonder if his cam's down somewhere.
You will
yeah,
not
okay, so he
kill
doesn't
my
actually have
allies.
his cam. That's going to burn him. And now with the res coming up, turns it into a 3-on-2. The Spike not really in a position here where they're going to be able to defend it too well. They have to peek out hard. Let's see if they can do it.
1-to-1 is how the exchange will begin. Does still give them a bit of an advantage to play off of, though, since Tem is playing alone. Oh, this potential lineup. Tem gets the first one. He already knows where the second one is. TCAP has no choice but to try and wait. He ends up jumping in, giving away his position once again. Now sitting back, trying to wait this back out. The Hunter's Fury has expired. He sees the peak. No, he'll be on the left side. He's got to find this kill within the next few seconds, or it's all over. But Tem will get the frag to capitalize on it anyway. And Full Focus will get themselves another round.
Yeah, what a massive round indeed. I love the recon drone in with the Hunter's Fury. Just create a little bit of static, but before he even went for it, he kept his gun out because he felt it. He's like, I think somebody's going to charge for the peak. I think somebody understands that I'm going for this play and is going to try and take me out before I can get it off. And he kept his gun out after he actually darted for a couple seconds just to take out, just to take down the Figment on Sova. That was a great little play.
Our scoreline much closer to each other here. We're now going to be 7-9. Full Focus inching themselves closer and closer to being able to try and take full control of the matchup for themselves here. before we head over towards our second map of the series. Remember, folks, this is the grand final, so things have switched into a best-of-3 format now, where previously these teams were only playing best-of-1. Got a big stack here from Spot Up to try and work their way in towards B. Whether they'll follow it through or not is yet to be seen here. We've got at least 1 to 2 players on full focus sitting on the other side here, trying to counter it back out. At the moment, not much. Got that lull in the round that you had been mentioning back in the last half going on here again. Waiting for action to happen. Bunny's going to try to push out from short. Finds one in himself by eliminating Wheaties, but Austin will be there a second later.
Smoke's down.
Confirm the trade.
And here it comes. You are going to see the attack. Oh, actually delayed by those nades coming out. Nonetheless, they are going to calm it down. But 30 seconds on the clock here. They're pulling out Rage, Duck. Great shot onto Figment. Now clearing out that B. Sage is nowhere near. Still in CT spawn. Cypher really the only man who can make contact. And he's actually pushing up short A. Yeah, this is pretty much it.
Comes the push. Oh, Tucker.
Beautiful.
And denies the spike plants. They're going to try to put this onto the ground. We've got the response coming in from the other Rays as well. Duck's going to try to line up a shot, but it won't roll through. Rami, in the meantime, also going to take out TCAP as he tries to complete the rotate through his own spawn and out from Garage to get out and start pushing back in from the C side of B. Won't happen, though. Duck now trying to hold his own in this position. First player moves in from mid, starts defusing. I don't even know if they heard that here. R is going to easily get it past the halfway point. Lines up another pick against Duck. Knows the position of Rami. She's going to go for it outright and should be able to get it. Defenders pick themselves up another round and, more importantly, preserve their lead as they push it up to double digits at 10.
Yeah, that was huge. Getting it halfway provides you with so much breathing room in a 1v1 situation, just knowing that, okay, at least I don't have to go through the whole process again after faking it. As we look at the round coming up in front of us, a little bit of a light buy. SMGs, they had money to buy up here, Blue. Opting for SMGs instead. Curious. Very curious.
Weird choice to be sure, but...
Maybe they want to guarantee operators into the next round?
Yeah, that would be my guess, is trying to save for something better going into the next round. It's just going to obviously leave them a bit vulnerable in this one here.
Yeah, because, I mean, if they lose this round, we're at 11, right? We're looking at 11 rounds going the defender's way. And then if they lose the next round where they're investing all of this money with operators, well, there's the 12th round gone. And now you have no money trying to stay alive. So very risky play here.
More than likely the big build-up, as you said, to try and save for that penultimate round, should we see the defenders come out on top of this one yet again. Things are remaining very quiet here between the two rosters. Hunter's Fury going to come out from the defensive side here. As we will have the players over on Spot Up B to get ready to push against them. To the top, and they see TCAP hiding in the corner. TCAP doesn't realize that Duck jumped right over his head to his side to take him out. Control now gained here. Surprising twist. They'll get this in a very clean fashion with the kill on a TCAP. Not much room for challenge from their opponents at this point here. They're going to have to build towards that.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we are going to see a little bit of a hunt. I feel like they want to hunt. The Gall's really going for it. A little bit of an orbital strike comes down. That will be one kill onto Austin. The retake does start taking place here, Blue. But are they going to be able to do it now? Tucker taking down Rami. 10, though. Taking down Tucker as that neural fest does come down. The defuse does get started. And 2 coming through spot to end the round.
The other defuse stuck off behind cover, and he will do it yet again. Him getting both of the frags. Defenders still get the round as they once again sneak off the defuse from behind cover. I think it was the same player that got it done as well. It was meeting that did it both times.
It's just crazy to think that, I mean, in that situation, they both made the great play, and if they had 1 or 2 more seconds on that, they might have been able to win the round. Very unfortunate. Nonetheless, though, we now move into, wow, they didn't even buy operators off that buy.
So a weird economical situation, I guess.
Because they could, yeah, I don't know.
I misjudged the money or something else weird happened. I'll have to talk to the players probably about that one to get a better idea of what exactly was going on. But either way, it has put Spot Up into a very bad position here, or has put them into a very bad position here now, as they're going to look to close out.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is that buy was kind of like, you know when you lose fifth round in CS and on 3rd round you don't really have like amazing money, you might have like 4.5 or something. And then you always get to that round where you're like, okay, let's just save one more so we can make sure we get everything we want. You know what I mean? I think that's what they went for there.
Let's see if that plan ended up working out here now. For the roster on full focus, Spot Up is in a great position to try and put themselves up onto map point for the very first map. And once again, we've reached that lull in the round, as often been the case here with Haven, that we kind of get to that midpoint. The attackers need to prime themselves for an execute. Rami again with a good start now for full focus to start working their way in. Spot Up is going to have to quickly rotate players into position for a retake. Aura, the only player here to stop this, but he's getting a lot of important information right now. A double lineup that drops the spike too. Can he get the third? No, unfortunately not. And elsewhere on the map, Duck is also going to have success taking out one of the players that was trying to flank them. TCAP still has a position on C though, so he will drop the spike yet again and bring all the pressure down onto Duck, who will very unfortunately get caught trying to shift walk through mid by Tucker. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to put Spot Up on map point.
Yeah, and remember, guys, for you tuning in, it won't be it. Like Blue just said, just map point. This is a BO3. We will be moving on to a second map, but nonetheless, I have seen some great things coming out from the attacking side on this half. From the defending side on this half. The attacking side, we've seen brief moments of glory, but they haven't been able to really find that cohesion or fluidity throughout this first map. Hopefully, it's just the engine getting started as we move into the second.
And just keep in mind, guys, with that scoreboard, a very important note, the colors are wrong on the scoreboard currently. So that's been driving me crazy the last 3 rounds, and I just realized what was actually happening with it. But we'll talk about that in a moment, as we are going to end up at a 1-for-1 exchange to start off on short A. Both players will lose one agent, but Wheaties at least. The attacking side back into the fold. Chopper goes in. And no real damage connected, unfortunately. Big waste.
Yeah, that was huge. I really thought that was going to be able to connect. Doesn't look like it will. Sage going to get a heal off. Ray's playing very aggressive towards his short A. May even go down here momentarily. However, it doesn't look like the attackers have really decided on what they want to approach right now. It does look like they're just holding up towards that garden area. Maybe, just maybe, heading back towards A.
So Duck and the rest full focus here, trying to look for any way they may be able to leverage for control of A. It's actually pretty weak too, with only Tucker being the player to try and hold this off. Tucker's been an incredibly pivotal player for the team though, gets 2 lined up, including a beautiful transfer onto Rami. Duck is there as the third though, to quickly find the exchange and more importantly, fully secure that A site for the full focus roster. Remaining players here now on Spot Up, going to try and work their way in. They've already got positions just outside of the site. Getting here was not the problem, it's more the method they're going to work their way back in with that they need to find more info on. Showstopper also ready to go there for Duck, but possibly popped just a tad too early. Means he has to waste it in the tunnel, but playmaking potential. Oh no, he's just realized the wall is here. It's going to block him off on the other side. Instead, he's going to try and turn this around. Nobody's checked this position, so Duck gets away with one for free against TCAP. And now they have a crossfire setup. If they try to push back out in this, they're going to more than likely get shut down. There's just no time left as well. So this will be a successful round picked up here now by Full Focus. Our opponents not going to be able to shut this map out just as of yet. And it looks like everyone's going to die here too, as they're all just a little bit too close to the spike.
Yeah, and let's see how that affects the economy moving into this round. Okay. Ooh. All right, so this is a real opportunity here for the attackers to really pull themselves within this tie game distance. We're going to see an eco come alive now from the defending side. This is exactly what you want now. You want the opportunity to actually just get these easy rounds, build economy up, make sure you're able to buy everything you want every single round, and you're going to be able to tie this thing to overtime.
Revealing area.
Info Dark gonna work its way out. Same thing was sent back against them though in mid here as Figment and team tried to make a little bit of a push. Bunny is gonna come out with some success to be able to find the pick against Wheaties. Good range here too.
Massive first kill.
Yeah, and now he's even gonna like look for more here. I don't know if he was able to scavenge the gun just yet, but he's gonna be pushing out from long as well.
Yeah,
try and look for more intel there.
Yeah, the gun's at A lobby, so he can't really, like right now, it's just going to be a little bit hard. But I could see definitely as the round progresses, if he doesn't catch any action in maybe the next 10, 15 seconds, maybe I'll give him a little bit more, like 20 seconds, he'll probably start moving towards it.
Oh, he just got another one. Duck, unfortunately, does not have his wits about him for that one. Tem will finally be there, however, to trade it out. And then the Fury that was given out over there at short and long A for the longest time. With his death, that also means that the site is left open for the taking, so we will have full focus swing their way in to take control here. Tucker, in the meantime, to try and see if he can upset on this with a little bit of an explosive kill. You see some damage connecting, but not nearly enough to confirm that frag. Austin, as well, fends off at least one of the flanks. Very well aware of the second one. We see those shorty shots blowing up in Austin's face, just a bit short of the critical range needed to kill him. The other players have worked their way out from spawn, but again, they just don't have the gunpowder to fight this one. A good find from Tucker. One of these players is already low. He needs a couple more shots against Austin, unfortunately, to take him out, but armed with a Vandal. Just a lack of time really going to kill him here, unfortunately, as the players on full focus take a very smart path, and Austin will be able to confirm the third and final kill for himself on the round, putting his team up to 9. 3 more away from triggering OT on the first map now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to watch the money they're buying here. Okay, so we have full ultimates as we look at it. We have everything on the field that, you know, both sides would really want. So this fight right here is really going to determine who's going to, well, for one side, take that W, obviously, and for the other, are you going to be able to turn them back onto an eco and claw your way closer to that overtime? This is a very big round. This is pretty much, in my opinion, what, you know how people say this is the match right here?
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, yeah, this is straight up the match. Either you win this round or, yeah, you need to win this round confidently so you can just smash through these next few rounds without having to worry about money.
All right, well, let's take a look and see if players from... Ooh, moment here. Tem is going to find a nice lineup, immediately gets the location of TCAP on the first shot of his Hunter's Fury and gets the kill off of that. Now the rest of the team can follow through and execute. We've got rotates coming in, but they are cut off so heavily, either just by the raw distance away from the site that they are, or the wall that was just placed to block off the defender re-entry point. Now we'll start to see Tucker and the rest spot up, trying to for any path that they can take back into this site, but they're just not being gifted one at this point here. Rami gets run over though, and that's key, as that opens up the garage angle, which will also free the defender re-entry points a little bit too. Bunny is looking for his own path back out to try and kill the players on long. That'll prove a little bit difficult. They do get the molly onto the ground, but it is planted for this. More than likely, they won't be able to sneak that one off. Tucker pushes forward, gets the first one. We see the ult go off, and that ult may have just given them the amount of time they needed here. But even aside from that, there's still another player hiding out in garage. There's not enough time to get onto that defuse anyway. Wheaties is going to die, unfortunately, as he's blown up by the spike. But the round itself still goes over to full focus as they claim a 10th.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer to that overtime. I mean, at this point, I'm saying it's going there. Are you saying it's going there? What's your prediction?
I'd be very surprised if it didn't at this point, but
Right?
there is, you know, that they only need one round, like, and it's been that way for quite a while here, so.
Those are always the worst overtimes too. Not the ones where you guys are battling at 13, 12, 13, like, you know what I mean? Like, not like 13, 12, 14, 13, 10 to 9, you know? When it's 15 to 6, and they just slowly come all the way back.
That's exactly what we are looking at here now for full focus. Duck's gonna get pressured early on though. The focus is on short, but the actual pressure right now is coming from long. Tucker trying to line up anything that he can, but all he's done at the moment is scared the attackers away from pushing in here at all temporarily.
Does seem like mid will be favored, as we do see the courtyard being pressed by Raz as she moves towards those garage double doors here. Sage as well as Sova following suit, as Cypher obviously lurking in the back. Brimstone now moving towards that C long. We'll be getting those smokes out at some point, ready to execute. The recon drone coming in from Sova just to clear out the window area to make sure they can't be quick flanked. But it will be that C site that we will see the execute approached on.
Wall primed and ready here for TCAP. They seem to be very well aware that there's a push being lined up in garage against their hold on C, and they'll counter that. Tucker now ready to also fend off against anyone that will try to swing out from the window. There's the first contact. It'll be just a 1-for-1 exchange between the Sovas. Tucker will be lost in the process. Rami now going to try to move on to the site while the rest of the team funnels out into mid. Another 1-to-1 exchange. This round will stay neck and neck.
I know
exactly. Duck and Wheaties pick up 2 very important kills that finally gives their team the advantage. More importantly, the capability to plant on B finally. They're getting low on time as well. It's very good that they plant it in a non-traditional spot. Figment, as you could see, trying to line off his own, goes for the usual default plant spots, does not find anything. He does not have much of a hope of retaking this now due to the wasted potential of his ultimate. So he'll have to fall back, call for a save, and this is going to go the full distance. We'll be at 11-12 confirmed now.
Yeah, definitely. And this is what you get scared about, is when you start seeing a team like this start clawing back. If you're the opposition, you're saying, well, damn, have we been getting lucky? These aren't luck rounds that they're pulling off anymore, because they had, look at the score line at one point. I believe that's 7-1, and then we ended up the half at 8-4, and now we're sitting at 12-10, about to be 12-11. Just a phenomenal job coming out from the attackers on their second half.
Yeah, definitely a great run from Full Focus to get them back into this match. But still, that one more round still sits before them. The good news is, looking at what is on the scoreboard, the attackers' economy, but in reality, remember, guys, it's the defenders that are red right now, and the attackers are green on that UI. They are still going to...
You always have to I always have to take a second and be like, okay, this one's this.
I didn't even realize it was like that at first. So I think I was calling the teams the wrong names because I was just really confused for a minute. And then after like 3 or 4 rounds, I think I finally understood what was happening.
Well, that's why I just say attackers and defenders. It's just so much.
Yeah. Just so you don't end up tripping over yourself,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
I've already done a few times.
We still love you, bud. We still love you. Anyway,
But we will have Full Focus lined up for that mid push yet again. Still keeping their options open, still not with any decisive push towards any of the 3 sites here. Folks over on Spot Up, they as well have kept their lineup pretty spread out across the map. Trying to figure out where exactly this take will go. The Owl Drone's going to kind of dance around each other in mid a little bit as that info game continues to build up, but eventually looking like now we're going to see Full Focus get ready for a commitment. Probably out onto A, and this all depends on how well R is able to stop it. He's the lone holder here, and unfortunately with just that gun there is not going to have much of a chance of being able to hold that from his current position. He will have to rotate. He's not alone in this either. He's got another teammate coming in from B to help him out. They're going to arrive to the actual rotation point far too late, though, and Tucker is even going to get hit by the paint shells a bit on his way out.
Yeah, Spike should be going down here momentarily. No alternative to stop anything right now. The retake should be taking hold. Silver watching back. We still have Cypher traps there, so doesn't really need to pay too much attention right now. I'd like to see him reinforce and help out his team elsewhere. Nonetheless, though, here come the defenders getting ready to re-enter.
Crossfire set up 1 scan from the info dart does go out though. We see 2 pickups now, 4 pickups, including another res coming in there as well from CCAP. The drop down finds one of the players in hell and takes them out. So unfortunate for the members of Full Focus to have come all the way back from that deficit, only to drop the map on the very final round. And for the folks on Spot Up, a real sigh of relief as they finally get it done and don't have to play out that overtime. 13-11 is the first map scoreline, and Spot Up will take the lead in the series at 1-0.
Yeah, talk about a nail biter there. We thought that comeback was going to happen. We thought they were going to be able to make it back. Shout out to Bunny, 25 frags in that effort.